Hi, Eric Lenask. We're here at ITEXPO in Las Vegas, and I'm talking with Chance Myers from TeleSpeak. Chance, great to have you on the program.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to talk to you guys.
So, as a provider of hosted communications, and specifically focusing on a small business market, it's really a competitive space. A lot of providers. How does TeleSpeak approach that competitiveness, and how do you differentiate?
Well, we really take a vertical approach to it. Right now, the hosted PBX market is extremely commoditized. It's the most competitive product on the landscape out there, and it becomes a me too and cheaper philosophy. So when we started the company 4 years ago, we started with a hosted PBX product on the ITEXPO platform that everybody does. But we really started to see that that's not where we really wanted to make our mark. So we took that ITEXPO platform and we got into the contact center software business and the collaboration, which led us to the telemedicine and soon the virtual education space. So we've really kind of steered the company away from just the hosted PBX. We still offer it. There's opportunities out there, but we've really moved more into the contact center, virtual learning, e-learning, telemedicine space. That's really where we're making our mark in the SMB.
So when as SMBs start to look at hosted versus on-premises solutions, certainly that's the other side of the competitive environment. What things do they need to look at when making that decision?
It really depends on the company's initiative themselves, and obviously, are they looking at a capitalization product, or are they looking at a monthly reoccurring? And there's still a lot of people that aren't comfortable with moving everything to the cloud. They hear a lot of horror stories about it, but it's really working with the customer, trying to understand what the customer's needs are, not just from today, tomorrow, next month, and next year, but are they looking at a major capital investment to keep stuff on the premise, or are they looking to move outsourced? Are they comfortable enough to move outsourced? Can we provide them a solution that will match what they're currently looking at, but in a hosted environment versus a premise-based?
You mentioned a little bit about sort of how TeleSpeak got to where the company is today, and specifically with regards to a couple of vertical markets. Are those still areas of focus, and are there other specific verticals that you're focusing on?
We're really kind of, I guess, throwing our anchor down in the telemedicine, the contact center, and the classroom anywhere products. We think that has the most growth potential out of just a traditional hosted PBX, because as I said, that's kind of a me too and cheaper, everybody does it, and we needed to really differentiate ourselves from what the landscape was doing out there. We've done actually a very commendable job of doing it in such a short period of time.
Why have you started talking about the idea of integrating WebRTC into the solutions, and are there particular ways that you feel WebRTC can help be implemented in your solution?
As I said at the beginning, most companies that are starting out in this industry go to ITEXPO, right? It's the easiest, it's the path of least resistance. There's 100 ITEXPO developers on every corner, so it's not such a proprietary product that you can't build out a solution. But you get to a point where everybody's using ITEXPO. ITEXPO is a very robust, very solid foundation, but the scalability of it is very limited. So when you want to move away from the smaller mid-size SMB and get higher enterprise, you really can't deploy ITEXPO. So we started looking at other solutions, and a gentleman, a friend of mine who's the CEO of a development company in Dallas, Texas, we started talking about the WebRTC, which 18 months ago I was not very familiar with. And we started talking about the features and the benefits, and he was kind of already going down that path. And software doesn't excite me that much, but when I saw this and what the features and functionalities and failover and usability and scalability was, not to mention that Google was behind it, my personal opinion is it's the wave of the future. A lot of people say, well, it's going to be ITEXPO in 5 years. It might be. I don't know, but it has the opportunity to not only dominate in the SMB space, but also be able to migrate in mass into the enterprise space. I just think that Google allowing you to build your individual framework on top of the RTC kernel is a huge benefit. Not to mention that you have the majority of the usability already built into the browser.
Good. With a focus on the smaller side of the business market, I imagine that your predominant go-to-market strategies through the channel.
Correct.
What kinds of things are you doing to grow the channel?
Obviously, we're coming here. I'll be speaking at the Channel Vision Pavilion. I've just recruited some old acquaintances that had done nothing but resold software in the channel. This type of exposure is very important to us. We work really heavily in healthcare managed IT companies, in companies that work with major universities and managing their infrastructure and IT, and they're really starting to put our healthcare anywhere and our classroom anywhere out to their current client base.
You know, part of the whole differentiation question is picking the right partners. What
Correct.
makes a good partner for TeleSpeak?
I think somebody that understands what we're trying to accomplish. We don't want to be your typical provider, your typical developer. We really take things in a holistic approach, and we bring a solution to them that allows them to get into doors that they couldn't get in before, because most resellers are reselling the same product. And they have to come to that table with, again, as I've talked about, it's me too and cheaper, or our support is better than ABC company, even though we're selling the same solution or the same platform. So we really take it as a holistic approach, and we deliver a product and a solution that the marketplace really hasn't seen before, and it allows a reseller or an interconnect the exposure to get into doors that they couldn't get in before, and then to sell other products and solutions that they're currently representing too.
So that really sounds like it helps not only TeleSpeak but your partners as well to break out of that price-based sales model that's very, very difficult to succeed when you've got such a commoditized market.
You live by it, you die by it, and what we're trying to do is help people avoid that trap and say, here's a product, Mr. Customer, that you've never seen before. Let's talk about that. And then once you're in the door with these products that are extremely sticky, we find a retention rate that's amazing, then our partners get to build that relationship and that long-term partnership with their end users, and allows them to deliver more products and services to them.
Fantastic. Chance, thanks so much for
Thank
being
you
with
so
us
much
here
for
at
having
ITEXPO.
me. I appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you.